Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
It was a pretty close to the work week with a few isolated storms out there. Before those storms were moving through, caught this gem from Little Dell Reservoir. Chris Williams, thanks so much. You can see some storm clouds, but look at Little Dell and look at how green everything is. So lush. A record-breaking winter bringing in all that moisture, and that has helped battle our drought conditions. Wanted to touch on the drought monitor because the newest numbers came out, and we have to show you that 14% of the state in moderate drought. The rest of the state, 39% of Utah, not facing drought conditions right now. And what you're seeing in yellow is just abnormally dry. So it wasn't just our winter, it's our spotty activity and our unsettled pattern that continues to bring moisture that is helping us out. So good news there. Love to see it. But we did see some isolated storms bubble up. This was earlier this evening in Tooele County. West of I-15 is where we saw most of that activity. Southwesterly flow bringing in some warmth. And as you look in the last several hours, the evening is really when we saw those peak storms targeting the mountains, rolling into adjacent valleys, and then the West Desert seeing some isolated activity. Topped out today at 81 degrees. 82 is the average high in Salt Lake. Upper 70s in Logan and Provo. Saw 80s on the eastern side of the state where we were dealing with drier air, and upper 80s for the high down there in St. George. Now the winds breezy at times along the Wasatch Front, and we clocked some decent wind gusts there. Our peak winds 34 miles per hour in Salt Lake. Storms overhead help that out because we get those gusty outflow winds. West Desert also saw some decent wind gusts. That southwesterly flow coming into St. George, keeping them slightly cooler with the upslope. Into tomorrow, we have the general threat of a thunderstorm yet again for northern Utah, all the way down into central Utah towards Iron County and on the eastern side of the state. It's for the entire region, but there's not a tremendous amount of moisture potential because that low pressure system is weakening. So tomorrow looks like the best day, even though we keep the chance of a storm, because after that, our storm threat, it goes up as we close out the weekend and head into early next week. So if you're making outdoor plans, forewarning you that our Saturday is going to look a little better than your Sunday. The Futurecast model takes us through what I mean. Into tonight, we get quiet conditions, but by the afternoon, isolated activity in the West Desert, and then over the spine of Utah, the Wasatch and the Uintas tapping into some storm potential. So if you're going to be out there hiking, biking, or in the high country, you just want to stay weather aware. For most of us, though, we won't see storms, and it will be a beautiful Saturday. Central Utah gets isolated by 8 p.m. and then quiet. As we roll into Sunday, more moisture potential is there because another low impacts the area. Look at that. The model bringing that into Salt Lake County, Weber and Davis County by 2 p.m. and the West Desert, Tooele County all the way into Utah County, and we stay active. So Sunday afternoon into the evening, we're looking at storm potential in the northern half of the state. Heads up there. That progressive pattern is going to hold on as we move into next week. Here's the reason why. We've got this upper level low that's going to push inland. So it's replacing the low that just kept us unsettled for the last several days. As it gets closer and closer to Utah, it brings more moisture into the atmosphere, and we see showers throughout the west. And by Sunday, that southerly flow will bring some winds and, yes, the potential for those storms, especially in the northern half of the state. So we'll keep an eye on those storms and that unsettled pattern. Daytime highs for tomorrow in the upper 70s, low 80s. As we zoom in, you find your city, and you're going to notice our mountain valleys getting into the 60s and 70s. Better chance in the mountains for those storms. 70 in Eureka as we head into central Utah. Mid to upper 70s, a few 80s popping up on the map. Green River over I-70 in the upper 80s. We'll see that warmth down south. 92 in St. George, 87 in Lake Powell. Next 7 days in Washington County brings a slight chance for a storm on Monday, and temperatures cooling into the 80s. Stormier pattern keeping us cooler, but the warmth returns for the end of next week. The Wasatch Front getting scattered storms for the latter half of the weekend, staying very active Monday into Tuesday, and even the potential on Wednesday. We step back from the 80s and drop into the 70s as we head into the work week. But eyes to the skies, and we just have to stay that way with an abnormally stormy pattern for the next 7 days. Back to you, Glenn.